Hey there, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel again. Now, you may know if you've been watching my videos that I've been looking at different options for using your cell phone as a camera, a video camera, and particularly one that I can output to HDMI with. And I've found something thanks to another YouTuber who's just starting out but has got some good ideas, Simon Cornwell. Big shout out and a link to his channel below. That might just work. Stick around and I'll show you how you can do this easily yourself as well. Okay, so I've got my cell phone here and I've got a new app on it that I've been given the link to. And I was just going to show you guys how I can set that up and how you can set that up and use it to shoot video on your camera over HDMI to a recorder or something like that, just like I'm doing. Whether you're using the Blackmagic ATEM Mini or not, another thing altogether, but this application will let you send in a clean HDMI signal out to a HDMI recorder or a screen or a mixer or anything like that. It gives you a clean HDMI signal out and you can use it for all sorts of things. Let's have a quick look at it. Now, I've got this application that I've just installed here called CameraVision. You can just search for CameraVision on the App Store. It'll come up straight away and you'll see this blue icon here. I'm just going to quickly tap on that to open it up. And there you go, straight away you can see that it's giving me a good full screen everywhere image with no other stuff on it. And as you can see here, I've got all the controls for it around here, which is absolutely great. So it's giving me everything I want to see and nothing I don't on the clean output, which I've got on this screen over here. I'll just zoom this in a wee bit for you so that you can see both of those screens easily. There you go, that's close enough. I'll move that in a little as well. There you go, so you can see my cell phone screen here and you can see the monitor screen behind it. I'll lift that up just a tad more. How's that? That better for you guys? Awesome. Now on the cell phone screen here, it's got a number of controls. The first one is you can set the resolution, and it starts at 640 by 480. You can take it up to 1280 by 720 and then 1920 by 1080 full HD. It doesn't go to 4K, but that's okay. It's an app that costs $1.69 in New Zealand, so $1 US. I'm not complaining. It lets you here choose, and this is quite cool, the rear camera, which is the one that we're looking at over here now, or the front camera. So I can see my selfie camera with the AX53 up there. Or it also lets you go to your photo albums, and this here I particularly like. So you could prepare some screenshots or something. So here's a thumbnail I did earlier. God, that looks awful. And we'll show that thumbnail on the screen. So you could prepare some title screens and things like that and run them out of here as well. I'll go back to the rear camera for now. You can also set the resolution on those things each time as you go. I have noticed, however, when you do switch between the different cameras, it does change the resolution back to the minimal one. So yeah, if you're the guy that wrote this thing, first of all, big ups, and secondly, set it so that the resolution sort of sticks, so it stays where it is rather than switching back. The other things we've got up here, it's rotatable, which means that I could turn the camera around and it would rotate and become a vertical app, so I can do that like that. Notice when I do that, it keeps the widescreen, so it just uses a portion of the sensor, of the 4K sensor, to keep a 2K image. Pull it back and it's just going back to normal widescreen. So that's cool, that works really well. That's a neat feature. You can also click on there and lock that off, so that if you turn the camera sideways, your image goes sideways instead of rotating with the application. So that's really cool. I like that. The next one here is, I think this is the output resolution. Yeah, it is. So I'm not quite sure how that one particularly works, but it goes through a series of resolutions again back up to 1080. I'm just going to leave it on 1080. there's a fill button here, which if you've got an image that's smaller than your display size, then you can resize it to fit. So it will fit horizontally like there now, or it will resize to, I'm not entirely sure exactly what that one does because I've got full HD in and full HD out, so that's not really doing anything for me. But I think if you've got like a lower resolution image, then this would make that fit into using the full screen and stretch it one way or the other, or shrink it down. Down here there's an info button, which shows and hides information on screen, but only on the phone, about the current settings and what they are. There's a couple of little tricks in there as well. You can pinch to zoom in and out, so like that as you're zooming, which is really cool. And you can tap the screen to hide the settings, which is really cool. So you can turn the info off, hit that, there's nothing on screen, turn the info on, hit that, and the information about the resolution, everything is up the top, and all the stuff down the bottom, and the microphone bits and pieces as well. All really neat stuff. The flash around the back here, now this is cool, it turns the light on your phone on or off. So if you want to use the light on your phone, awesome. One thing I did notice is that the flash icon, when it's showing as it's working, it's not. When it's crossed out is when it is on. So the icons for that are back to front. The pause button here pauses it, and then if you move the camera around here or do something in front of the camera, you'll notice that the image over here stays flat, so it's just a static image now. So you just tap the play button down here again to unpause it, and there you go. The next one is a blackout screen, so you can just hit that and it fades to black, hit it again and it fades in. And the last one, of course, over here is the microphone. They also got this icon backwards, so if it's crossed out, the microphone is recording. If you hit it and it's on, the microphone is off. So those are a bit strange with those images being backwards, kind of misled me for a wee bit, and I wasn't quite sure whether it was on or off or not working. Then I realised that they'd just got the on and off images round the wrong way on the button. That may only be an iPhone 11 thing from something else I read. I haven't checked it out on the 6 yet. I'll do that at another time, but I'm sure they'll fix that up in a patch coming up. While we're looking at the interface here, there's one more really awesome feature. I'll just tap to make the things go away, and now if I hold my finger down on the pad on the surface, you can see that there's an arrow here that follows my finger around on the live output. That's very cool. You can then talk about that button, or this button, or this button, or this button, show different things. What would be even more awesome is if they had a drawing tool on here, so that you could draw a shape and reset it or something like that. Hopefully that's another feature they'll think about. You move your finger away and the arrow goes away, hold it down for half a second and the arrow comes back and follows you around the screen again. I don't know about you, but I think that's really cool. So that's about it. The signal just comes out of the lightning port into the Apple HDMI adapter. I've got an HDMI cable going into a preview monitor here, and that is going into my Blackmagic design ATEM mini, and up to the recorder I've got up here, so which is the Blackmagic Video Assist. And if you want to hook your camera up to a recorder, you can't go past the Video Assist. I'm going to try something else out later on where I put the Video Assist up here and this camera here onto a rig of sorts, and see if I can hook a microphone up as well, because that's got XLR, the Video Assist has XLR in, and I reckon that would make a great camera rig. And even better would be if the people who have written this software, and there's a link to that down below and all of their other apps as well, if they could get around to putting on a mirrored application on another phone, so you can have a remote control basically, so somebody else on another phone would be able to trigger, say, the focus and that sort of thing, if they wanted to put that on there. Basically a few more features like Filmic Pro, or even better, hey, Filmic Pro, buy these guys out, use their full screen tech, because it actually doesn't just mirror the screen, it's sending it out as another monitor, and that's awesome. That's really what Filmic Pro needs. So yeah, buy these guys out, make them rich as shit, and use their technology in Filmic Pro. If you married all of that together, man, that would be an iPhone filmmaker's wet dream, I've got to tell you. Anyway, this thing is great. If you're shooting video on your phone and you want to take it to an HDMI monitor or recorder, or both, through a monitor to a recorder, all sorts of things, or use cell phones to run your Blackmagic ATEM, then do it. This is a great app, and for $1 US. So I hope this has been really useful for you. If it has, don't forget to click on the subscribe button down here and watch these 2 videos over here that YouTube think they're right for you. And I'm sure they would be, and hopefully one of them's even mine. Click on that one. Subscribe, like, comments all below, questions, things. Bye.